I'm going to show you how you can broaden your chord vocabulary, and unlike many other lessons on this topic, I'm not just going to show you a bunch of chords to remember, but instead I'll show you how to actually build them yourself. This lesson does require you to at least have some basic understanding of intervals, diatonic harmony, triads, and a general sense of visualization on your fretboard. If these are things that you struggle with or don't know how to practice, you'd benefit tremendously from my online guitar school Fretwise, which you can visit at www.getfretwise.com. Let's start with the basic chord progression, perhaps 1, 4, 6, 5 in A major. So that's A, D, F sharp minor, and E. Now the most obvious thing to do would be to play bar chords, but I'm going to strip that down to 3-note triads. I'll give you a few examples of what that would sound like in different positions of the neck. Now, it would be great if you're able to do this yourself, but if not, then you might want to check out a triad-specific lesson first. I've got many on my channel and many more on Fretwise. These closed position triads have a very narrow sound to them, and that's great if you're playing with some buddies and you want to leave some space for other instruments, but if you're playing by yourself, then you could spread the intervals apart. So instead of perhaps, we could try, or maybe, so to achieve these kinds of chords, all I'm doing is taking the closed position triad, which would be this one here, and I'm taking the center note and bringing it up an octave or down an octave. And just be aware that if you bring it down an octave, you're obviously changing the inversion of the triad, but if you bring it up, it's still, in this case, a root position. Notice that sometimes it's good to rearrange the fingering. It might make a bit more sense if I played that and then did that, but I've brought this finger over here to make it a bit easier for my fingers. Now similarly, if we brought that middle note back an octave, that would give us this chord here, which by the way is one of my personal favorites. I love that one. So that's A major, first inversion starting from the 3rd degree. Let me show you a few examples of this 1, 4, 6, 5 progression using spread voice triads in different positions of the neck. There are so many different combinations that we could put together, but it's up to you to find the ones that you like most. Just remember that in order to create these chords, you'll have to start with the closed position triad progression before taking that middle note and bringing it up or down an octave. Now that you can build major and minor chords, you can elaborate on them by adding or swapping notes. An easy way to begin doing this would be with suspended voicings, where you substitute the 3rd degree with either the 2nd or the 4th. You can also use the 2nd or the 4th degree to provoke melody, like so. I like to throw them in my music now and again to add a little spice, but I really often use them most to provoke melodies. There are many other flavors that we could explore, but I think for now, major, minor, and suspended voicings give you plenty to play with. Of course, you could add any note of your choosing to the top of the parent triad. It doesn't have to be the second or the fourth degree. The best thing that you can do is to let your ear guide the way and don't overcomplicate things. Another thing that we could also do to make it a bit more exciting is to experiment with different rhythms. I'll put together one final example for you to showcase some of the ideas that we've discussed in this lesson, and then we'll break it down together. So that starts off with an A major in its C form, like so, just a closed voiced triad there. And then we've got, so that there for D major, I've taken the middle note, brought it up an octave for our spread voiced triad, and I've brought that note there down 1/2 step, which actually gives us the 7th degree, so that's a major 7 voicing. And then we've got 2 standard spread voicings with the suspended 2 there, hammering on to the minor 3rd. Same here for the E major from the 2nd to the 3rd degree. And then spread voicing again of A major. And then we've got A major again, like so, just hammering on whilst keeping the rhythm there. Before, now this here is D major 7. I'm taking the root spread voicing triad there, and I'm inverting it like so, so that's just a regular odd spread voice triad. I've brought this note down here, so that gives us, and then quite simply I've just added the 7th degree in the middle, like so, and then brought that exact same shape up here, which again gives us D major, except this is a suspended voicing as we've got the major 7. This one here is the 4, that's the 5, and that's the 2 at the bottom. And then we come back to, and then we finish with the 4 D major chords. Like so. So those are all D major, just spread voicings, different inversions. That's 2nd inversion, root position, 1st inversion, and 2nd inversion. Before finishing with just A major. You could add even more flavor in that final passage if you wanted to. Perhaps instead of the 4 D major triads, we could do something like, you see, there's a couple of different variations that you can have fun with there, and hopefully that gives you a bit of insight into how to throw all of this together. If you want a greater understanding of what I've discussed in this lesson, then come and join me on Fretwise. Fretwise can provide you with a clear practice plan to help you understand everything that I discussed in this video and much more on a deeper level. And on top of that, there are also daily challenges, a members forum, and you can even submit videos of your progress directly to me for personalized progress reviews. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. Be sure to drop a like, subscribe, hit the bell, and let us know in the comments how you create your own unique chords. Until next time, get practicing, get playing, and get Fretwise.